Hey everybody, this is Petey from the Spinner Rack, and today we also have
Calvin Ellis ready to rock.
um we just got some tidbits about the original Born Again series and the reshoots, and Vincent D'Onofrio announced that they were initially not happy with what was going on. They talked to the big bosses and they listened, and then Rob Liefeld chimed in. And he reiterated what Vincent D'Onofrio said, you know. And basically, then Vincent D'Onofrio also added in some more bits to them. So um, I thought this was the last. I thought Rob Liefeld had ended his time with Marvel, but he's still commenting on their stuff. What do you say, sir?
When Rob Liefeld makes an observation, he's spot on. When he makes a observation, we make a show. I was looking at the Liefeld comment. Well, at first they were like Deadpool creator. I was like, I thought they were talking about the creators of the movie.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh no, this is Rob Liefeld. And he was like, oh yeah, it was good because they made the reshoots and the original looked like what did he say? The original looked like a comedy. And
Yeah.
it does seem that dear, oh man, I'm gonna mess up his last name. Actor who's playing the Kingpin,
Oh, Vincent D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio. I'm looking at his comments, and they do seem more corrective than they seem necessarily in agreement
Mm-hmm.
with Liefeld. But to echo your sentiment, I thought Liefeld was done with Marvel. Why is he still talking?
Yeah.
This has this has nothing to do with you.
And the thing is, rarely do you get a chance to do it right, right? And I joke about this. The only thing I would say about it is, I know a lot of people like to turn to Marvel and say Marvel got it right. And I'm saying that, the original series got it right, right? But at the same time, we had two things that were true at the same time. The Daredevil series was good. The Marvel movies were good. So at the same time, there was no need to try to go a different direction and that sort of thing. And there's somewhere where it said it said someone wrote back to him, Rob, poor form, man, really poor form. And it said, never apologize for telling the truth. Ever, I won't. This guy is crazy, man.
What? He's never going to apologize, or he's never going to tell the truth.
He says he's never going to apologize for telling the truth.
Okay.
And I have, well, no, actually, I go into my nonsense with him, but yeah, I think, I don't know. The fact that they corrected the thing is, I think you only need to respond if they were saying that it was already there. Yes, Mr. D'Onofrio was the one who said to Charlie Cox is like, hey, um, they're gonna call us at some point. He's like, I don't think so. He's like, no, show like ours, they're definitely gonna call us back. So as someone who believed in it, they called him back. We got Daredevil and Spider-Man, and then She-Hulk, and then Echo, and then the own series that was started. We was waiting for the Marvel one, and then we heard reshoots. But then at the same time, I don't know. I think this is whatever this is. Rob is doing. He's gonna keep doing it. I thought breaking ties meant that you would really not do any Marvel stuff and not try to hop on it and be like, you know, I think D'Onofrio and Agents of Fandom has kind of said it. Kind of hopping on and tying yourself to it is now, and then of course it catches fire. Catches fire and goes to Screen Rant. This is initially from Screen Rant, so you know, they said, but they pointed out throws shade at Marvel following its explosive exit, and this is kind of what happens with Robin these stages where he's commenting on this stuff. But yeah, I thought it was going to be a clean break, and it's not.
But I will say for Liefeld, this is light shade. Normally, we would have got a whole podcast if you wanted to do that. But
You
yeah,
don't know that it's coming.
uh, well,
Every second.
if it's coming, we may be back with part two.
I haven't listened to Rob's Observations in so long. Um, uh,
No,
it's,
I haven't seen it. I don't. Nothing's really happened,
mhm.
and I haven't like nothing's popped up from your observations that has piqued my interest. So I haven't listened. So I haven't listened too much either. Usually, if it's good, you'll let me know. So you're not letting me know. So hey, there's nothing going on.
Well, that's the thing. The things that I like best were, I mean, obviously, the hard part is that it can always be with a slant. But like the best parts is him talking about, meeting Jim Shooter and Shooter talking about his struggles on Superman and Spider Man with Paul Levitt, that sort of thing, and then him doing Valiant and him saying, you don't have any flashy artists. And he's like, well, I like getting stuff on time and people who do the work, and I'll take these guys and that sort of thing. So he has a lot of information, does have a lot of slants, and that sort of thing. But yeah, um, he hasn't given up on the Marvel stuff, and I think the other bit was that he was going to, you know, fan out on a lot of the TV and movie stuff, and he's also been kind of pointing out the missteps of Marvel too. So I mean, you know, it's
But that's what. But isn't that what Rob does? It's like, hey, this is wrong. This is bad. This is bad. This is wrong. I'm great.
well, that's the thing. That's the thing. I don't. Yeah, you're right. I'll just say that. That's the easiest way to say you're right. I'm glad Vincent D'Onofrio. It's not necessarily. Well, no, I guess it is. Is it? Is it two? Two? Somehow it's connected to the other one. But at the same time, I'm glad, Vincent D'Onofrio, I think when he was doing, no, he's been a star for a long time. I think he shows up in Ed Wood. Was in The Player. He was played, I guess you can't say he was a villain, but he was the adversary to the lead in The Player. And of course, he went to Criminal Intent, Law and Order Criminal Intent. They kind of touted him as crazy. And somehow he was able to fix his career, go back to Criminal Intent, do some episodes that I really liked, and then his career has been right back on track since then. So,
Yeah, and a good actor. He was in Jurassic World and he was in Daredevil. And if you look, I had no idea that was him in Jurassic World initially.
mhm.
I had no idea that was him. And then, slowly but surely you put it together, like, oh, I mean, he's really a different character when he becomes the Kingpin.
Yes.
Sort of like Rob Liefeld, who becomes a different character once he goes onto his podcast or online.
Once he leaves your company,
There you go.
you're going to get it's like the thing is, it's funny because I think if asked, like I think when Byrne left, like Marvel, it wasn't until I think Shooter left Marvel where he really talked about anything that happened, or it was years when he talked about what was going on with the Hulk, or even the Fantastic Four, the actual details. But there was usually a time frame of really not going into a lot of stuff and that sort of thing, and it just feels like Rob was talking about doing DC for the New 52 and Hawkman and what's that other thing? Deathstroke, and he's like, DC's just really letting us go there. And then 2 seconds later, DC didn't let me do anything I was planning. And those aren't the exact words. It's obviously exaggerated, but it was basically immediately. Look at this. You're right. It's not as bad as people. People taking it worse than us. Because I read through it, wasn't that bad. Someone said and cook that fraud, Vincent. They talking about Rob. It's like, good lord, it wasn't that bad. Now gonna make me defend. I guess you could say we're all measured and fair here. Rob is tacking on to it, but at the same time, it wasn't that bad. Everybody
Wasn't
wasn't.
that bad, got to be honest. But hey, it's still a observation because you said you were done with Marvel.
Yes,
That's the
yes,
only reason why we're doing this. We're
yeah,
keeping you honest, Rob. You said you were done with Marvel. Be done with Marvel. You're not commenting one way or the other. You said you don't like the way they treated you. You're out. You're out.
yeah. You
When
got.
Spirit says we're out, we're out. We don't come back 5 seconds later. Hey,
Well, that's the thing. You also have. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's. I know the reservation. The portion of it is talking about your TV and movies, and he was definitely. I don't want to, because I know people kind of go use the fanboy. Well, going back to the original is a negative. He just kind of fans out. Can be tough. He's been tough on. I mean, hard part is that he got we talked about it before. So, I mean, the fact that his problem was with Marvel Entertainment. So I don't feel like what you just said shouldn't be talking about Marvel Entertainment, right? You already had issue with Marvel because he was retiring from thing. He was not, no, it wasn't an issue. He was retiring from it. So his issue was mainly with the Marvel films. So now him talking about Marvel films is kind of like, I do. I'm not with it. But it wasn't a bad one, guys. Um, expect more later. There'll always be something later. Spinner rack
out.
out.